and something must be done. I'm a Muslim, I'm a proud Muslim, and I believe my religion is a religion of tolerance, building bridges between people, not differentiating between races and creed. And when we're supposed to go to mosques, we're supposed to go and worship God, not to use God. Because once we want to employ God and use God, we have bloodshed. And I think that's true for all religion. I really hear many people say that we have negotiated for many years, which is true. 18 years. And I don't think that we have wasted 1 minute throughout these negotiations. We're going through labor pains as Palestinians and as Israelis. We're trying to accommodate. We're trying to change the variables of interactions in this part of conflict. This takes time. Today, I think more than 75% of Israelis and Palestinians do accept the two-state solution of the 1967 borders. Why we haven't achieved this goal is because of the complexities of the conflict and the nature of the region. Let me touch on variable number one, the United States of America. Today, the United States of America's borders are no longer with Canada and Mexico and the two oceans. The US borders have shifted since 2001 in the 21st century to become with Canada and Mexico and the two oceans, and also with Turkey, Iran, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, China, the Gulf, Saudi, Syria, and Jordan. The US is a country with 230,000 kids in two Muslim countries, Iraq and Afghanistan. So when political geography changes on nations, the functional role of nations will change. The US needs no one to protect its interests in the region today. Every day, I think they take back home 10 of their kids wrapped in flags or in wheelchairs. They don't need anyone to protect their interests. They're doing it. So this is a wake-up call to the region and to the nations of the region and to us, Palestinians, and to Israelis as well. President Obama, like me, just like me, did not wake up one morning and felt his conscience aching for the Palestinian people, where he said to my president in May 28, 2009, that the establishment of a Palestinian state has become a cardinal national interest of the United States of America. He said that because he realizes that he cannot end the conflict in these two Muslim countries without a solution to Palestine, without Palestine being reinstated on the map. The same thing is true of your country, United Kingdom. Also having many of its kids in Afghanistan and Iraq and elsewhere. And our region needs no more wars. Since my Prophet Muhammad died, we had 799 movements in political Islam. 799 Zarqawi for Iraq, 798 Hamas Palestine, 797 Jihad Palestine, 796 Qaeda, and I can take you down. You cannot fight ideas with Marines and guns and bombs. Doesn't work. Ideas cannot be defeated with guns. Our region needs no more wars. Iran should not be portrayed as a threat. You may differ, agree with Iran, no more wars. And I say that as a Palestinian, not because I belong to Greenpeace, because I know when Baghdad was burning, I was burning in my bedroom in Jericho. When Kandahar was burning, I burned in my bedroom in Jerusalem. It all reflects on Palestine. And what we need today is a combination of diplomacy and peace. Two things are required to defeat the forces of extremism in our region. Number one, solution between Palestinians and Israelis. And here you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to eat the apple from the start. It's going to be a two-state solution on the 1967 border. A state of Palestine with East Jerusalem as its capital to live side by side in peace and security with the state of Israel. We have recognized Israel's right to exist in peace and security. This is the official position of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. And that stands. My problem today is not with Israel recognition. My problem today is with Israel's behavior, Israel's policy vis-a-vis settlement activities, dictation, incursions, roadblocks, using food supplies, medical supplies as swords against 1.5 million people living in Gaza. That's my problem. This must stop. And this must come to an end. And that's the real challenge. And I know, in my academic research, after extensive 20 years of research, I found out that Christian and Muslim Palestinians will not convert to Judaism and become Israelis, and Jews are not about to convert to Christianity and Islam and become Palestinians. We need a two-state solution. This is my option. This is the only realistic option. I cannot beg it from the Israelis. I will not do so from the Israelis. I describe myself as the most disadvantaged negotiator in history, and I know that Israel has 5,000 tanks, 3,000 fighting planes, nuclear weapons, and very well-established strategic alliance with the United States. But having said that, Israel has three options. And you can describe me as a Palestinian anything you want, but I don't have a neon saying stupid. Please tell me you don't see anything that... Option number one is my option. Two states on the 67 borders. We have recognized Israel's right to exist in peace and security on 78% of historic British mandated Palestine and accepted to establish our state on the remaining 22% of the land. That is the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem. We have come a long way in the negotiations. And I really believe that Palestinians and Israelis have exhausted their negotiations. And now it's time for decisions, not negotiations. If Israel doesn't want the two-state solution, and they want to call my hometown Jericho, in its Hebrew name Yericho, and they want to call Nablus in its Hebrew name Shechem, and if you want to call Al-Quds Yerushalayim, and they want to call my name, instead of calling me Mr. Saeb Erekat, Adoni Saeb Erekat, I'll tell them, talk to me. Talk to me. Because I know from where I live in my father's house in Jericho, on the Jordan River, to the Mediterranean, is 68 kilometers. And once I say talk to me, I don't mean I'm abandoning my option of two states. All I'm saying is that their policies of settlements, dictation, occupation, walls, incursions, assassinations, siege, and closure is destroying the two-state solution option and paving the way to the one-state solution. Is that what Israel really wants? That's their second option. And honestly, God, I'm really, in my dreams, I see that the 21st and 22nd century will totally be unlike the 19th and 20th century resurgence of nationalism and so on. I see your flights today. I was in Frankfurt airport, saw planes with 27 stars in their tails. I see companies merging. I see many things are vanishing now. So if they want to call it Israel from the River Jordan to the Mediterranean, I'll be equal. This is not my option, the one state. The option of the one state is the option of those who built